The 2026 WEC season begins this week with the 6 hours of Imola, so let's take a closer look at the latest updates and what to expect from each hypercar manufacturer as we enter a brand new season of the World Endurance Championship. To preview the upcoming season, we have to start with last year's season champions and Le Mans winner Ferrari. Ferrari are not bringing any Evo Jokers to its 499p for the 2026 season, however, they are making small aerodynamic changes to its challenger for the season. The biggest changes aerodynamically are on the underbody, to the flaps just above the front splitter, and a new design of the engine cover, which aims to put more downforce on the rear axle. The challenge for Ferrari this offseason was WEC switched from the Sauber wind tunnel to the wind shear tunnel in North Carolina, which forced the WEC-only hypercars to rehomologate, resulting in Ferrari's decision to make the aerodynamic changes just discussed. Despite some of the aero changes for 2026, Ferrari are hoping to keep their understanding of the 499 piece balance and stay out front like they were last season. Toyota come into the 2026 WEC season with some of the biggest updates of any manufacturer after their 2025 season was largely a failure until the final race of the season. Toyota's newly named TR010 features its biggest change since early on in the hypercar era, using one of its Evo Jokers to restyle and make heavy aero updates to its challenger for 2026, with the goal of both improving drivability and getting back to the styling cues utilized by many of Toyota's road cars. Toyota will also be focused on creating better reliability in this year's car, pointing to the issues late at Le Mans when they lost a wheel as something they can improve upon this season. Overall, Toyota will be hoping their Joker, among other upgrades, will bring them right back to the front of the fight more consistently in 2026. Alpine will leave the hypercar class in the World Endurance Championship at the end of the 2026 season, but that doesn't mean they are not bringing any updates to their car for the year. The team's main focus in the offseason was to improve the car aerodynamically, with the team completing a massive aero rebuild for the A424, as they put their low downforce package in the rear view. And the drivers seemed to enjoy the new setup, with positive results allegedly coming from an internal test at Portimao earlier this year. So although Alpine is shutting down its WEC program to focus on F1, the manufacturer is still looking to make a statement and get another win after their first in hypercar last year, before they exit stage left at season's end. Peugeot come into the 2026 hypercar season with some solid momentum to build upon, with 2 podiums in the closing races of last year. The bad news for Peugeot is that the team already have exhausted all of its Evo Jokers through the 2027 season, and therefore they can't make any significant changes to upgrade their car this year. So although we've seen a major overhaul to Peugeot's livery, we will only see minor tweaks to the makeup of the 9X8 for the 2026. Meaning the Stellantis squad will have to focus on setup changes and a better understanding of their car to make inroads on the competition throughout the season. And hopefully they do, because I think it would be pretty great if Peugeot were able to snag their first hypercar win this year. Genesis will join the hypercar grid in the World Endurance Championship for the first time this year, and was been a highly anticipated addition to an already stellar lineup of brand names. The GMR001 sits on a chassis developed in partnership with Orica, the main LMP2 chassis developer, with a powerful 3.2-liter twin-turbo V8 engine, which was built based off the inline 4-cylinder 1.6-liter turbo engine in the Hyundai i20 and Rally 1, as Genesis thought it would be easier to adjust the 4 to the V8 instead of starting from scratch and building its hypercar engine. We should expect to see a lot of development early on from Genesis as they look to find their footing in WEC, but I don't doubt that with a little bit of time, they will be fighting near the front. Cadillac have made significant aerodynamic changes to their 2026 competitor, including a reconfigured front splitter and a rear wing that sits significantly lower than its predecessor. Besides that, the other of their 2 Evo Jokers focuses on an updated Brembo braking system for the American manufacturer. Cadillac also come into the 2026 WEC season as one of the few manufacturers we have already seen in competition, as they supply cars to teams in both IMSA and WEC. So far, what we've seen from Cadillac has been encouraging, with back-to-back podiums at the Rolex 24 and the 12 Hours of Sebring for the number 31 wheeling Cadillac, and only losing out to Porsche cars who have been dominating IMSA. Jota Sport and WEC will be hoping for similar results with their Cadillac V Series R this season. BMW have made some of the biggest aerodynamic overhauls of any manufacturer on the grid. The M Hybrid V8 will have about half its bodywork changed between the 2025 and 2026 versions, with the most obvious of those changes to the front grille, where it will move to shrink the size of its iconic kidney grille in an attempt to update its overall airflow. These changes seem to have had at least some effect, with a podium third place finish at Daytona and a fifth at Sebring so far in IMSA this season. Team WRT will hope their increased track time participating in both IMSA and WEC, along with their upgrades, will help their results improve this year. Aston Martin planned to run virtually the same Valkyrie they ran in WEC last season, choosing to use this year to learn more about their car and what upgrades they need to bring to the program in 2027. The Heart of Racing program started to perform their best at the end of 2025 in WEC, where they had finishes of 5th at Fuji and 7th in Bahrain. However, Aston haven't taken that momentum into 2026 so far, finishing multiple laps down at both Daytona and Sebring. Aston Martin will hope to be closer to their finishes at the end of last year in WEC than they have been to their finishes so far in 2026 over in IMSA, as they start their World Endurance Championship campaign in Imola. And that is every important change and update to the hypercar manufacturers of the World Endurance Championship as they look to start their season this Sunday at the historic circuit in Imola. Who do you think will come out on top to start the season? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.